We learned that the insert triggers went and ran some code after an insert was made to a table. You can do the same thing with deletes. For example, JProCo has never had an employee deleted from its tables. We still have our original 19. But someday we might delete an employee. Let's look at a table that will hold all of the records of the employees who have been deleted, and we'll call this table Former Employee. Now, right now, there are no records in the Former Employee table because nobody's been deleted. Well, as soon as a delete is made, we want it to be automatically inserted into this table. So we're going to create a trigger called TGR DelEmployee, and that will be on the employee table. And that will be after a delete, and we'll run the following code. We will insert into the Former Employee table the records that were found from the deleted memory resident table. Okay, let's run this. Commands completed successfully. In the Object Explorer, let's check for our trigger under the employee table under the triggers folder. We see we have a TGR_DelEmployee trigger. Let's delete from the DBO employee table all the records where it's employee number 19. That should just be 1. Let's run this. It says 1 row affected twice. 1 row got deleted from the employee table, and 1 row got inserted into the former employee table. Let's check it out. Notice that there are only 18 records in the employee table. There's not 19 anymore. And the one that's gone, well, that's now in the former employee table. A common usefulness for triggers is to protect, constrain, or add integrity to your data. How so? Well, let me use the following example. Let's look at all of the locations from the location table. And let's say we are decommissioning location number 3. We decided not to finish its construction, and we're discontinuing it. So this record will be deleted from the location table. Well, we write the following delete statement where we delete from the location table where the location ID is 3. Now, I accidentally only selected the first line of this statement. If I do this, it's going to delete all 6 locations. 6 rows affected, nothing's there. Whoops. So what I can do is add a trigger that says, hey, you're deleting 1 record, we'll allow that. You're deleting multiple records, I won't allow it. Here's how the trigger would look. Create trigger, and we'll call it TGR del location on the DBO location table. After delete, we're going to use the following code. Between the begin and the end, what code are we going to put there? We're going to put an if statement that says, if the count of what you tried to delete from the memory resident table is greater than a count of 1, then we're going to roll back the transaction. Now, this isn't going to do us a lot of good because, as you see, I already emptied the table. Hopefully, you didn't do this. But what I'm going to do to fix it is I'm going to turn this back to the master database and run the reset script for chapter 2.1. I got it right here. I'm going to go ahead and run this to put all of the data back. Okay, on my system, that took about 41 seconds. Now let me go back to the code we wrote and change it back to the context of the JProCo database. Make sure we have all 6 locations. Now what we're going to do is make sure that this trigger has been created. Now, what if I accidentally delete more than 1 record at a time out of the location table? It's going to say, the transaction ended in the trigger. The batch has been aborted. But what if I try to delete just 1 record? Now, if I do that, that means this if statement will not fire off. It says 1 row affected. So, the after trigger fires after the change has been made to the intermediate state of the record, but before it's been committed. And within the trigger, you have the ability to roll back the transaction if you want. Let's check our data to see if we were successful. We're saying that the entire deletion of all the locations at once failed. Therefore, that didn't get rid of any records. And when we ran this statement, it deleted one record. Therefore, we should have locations 1 through 6 in there minus location 3. Let's see what we have. 1, 2, 4, 5, and 6. It looks like this trigger protected our data from multiple deletes. Lab 2.2, Skill Check 1. Create a trigger called TRG Delete Pay Rates that takes records from the deleted pay rates table and inserts them into the former pay rates table. Test your trigger by deleting the pay for employee 1. Skill Check 2. Create a trigger called TRG Del State List that ensures you can never delete multiple records at once from the state list table.